I'm not dependent on punch power, you know. You know what, it takes a lot more than that to be a great fighter. A lot more than that to be a great fighter, so there's various ways I'll win. But I got the fighter spirit, and that's how I'll go in there and break him down.
Anthony Joshua just dropped a serious challenge aimed straight at Jake Paul. Mark your calendar for December 19, 2025. That day, the boxing ring will witness something intense. Joshua isn't holding back. He plans to overpower Paul completely, break his spirit, and prove once and for all who really deserves the heavyweight crown. This could be the fight that ends Jake Paul's boxing journey permanently.
He will see.
Anthony Joshua didn't just threaten Jake Paul. He exposed him. Joshua talked about mindset, tactics, and years of training. I need to attack his will and wear him down, Joshua explained. That's what makes this dangerous. Paul isn't just dealing with heavy punches. He's up against someone who understands how to control every moment, adjust the speed, and find weaknesses everywhere. Joshua uses timing, distance, and ring intelligence like tools in his arsenal. Experts say Joshua forces opponents into errors, and Paul has never faced anyone this skilled before.
If this is a real, legitimate fight, Jake Paul is absolutely crazy. If not crazy, he's super brave. And it'll be interesting to see.
Joshua isn't coming to put on a show or impress anyone. He's coming to win decisively. Even his lighter punches pack serious damage because of his massive frame and power. Joshua measures 6 feet 6 inches tall, weighs 250 pounds, won Olympic gold, and held multiple heavyweight titles. Paul stands 6 feet 1 inch, weighs around 220 pounds, and built his name mostly online with occasional professional matches. That gap is enormous, and Paul will feel it immediately when the bell rings. Every expert agrees that Paul's boldness won't match Joshua's years of skill and accuracy.
It can happen in a variety of ways, various ways, but I'm not dependent on punch power, you know.
Joshua is big, heavy puncher, but not as evasive. So I think if Jake has the right game plan, he has a pretty good shot of winning this fight.
This fight comes down to money too. Joshua sees it as a smart business move. Jake Paul calls it a $50 million payday with a knockout bonus. Experts describe it as low risk for Joshua, almost like practice, except with huge financial rewards. The dollar signs alone make this fight explosive. This isn't some forgotten exhibition match. Joshua's reputation combined with Paul's massive online audience could bring in more money than typical influencer fights or even some legendary traditional bouts. Money, fame, and future opportunities are all at stake here.
Sharp, relax. Relax.
Well, by the sounds of it, there's 50 million reasons why Anthony Joshua's taken this fight. In my head, I never ever thought this fight would happen. Why? Because of Anthony Joshua's desire to be in the history books, to be a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. To me, it shows me his desire.
Paul has a track record of being unreliable, cancelling matches or swapping opponents without warning. Joshua's team knows this well, but they're not worried. They're ready for anything. Experts warn that doubting Joshua is the quickest way for Paul to fail badly. Just one small error, one moment of hesitation, and Joshua will make him pay dearly. This fight shows no mercy. Paul might have endurance, decent reach, and plenty of self-belief. But that won't be enough against someone who has beaten top-level heavyweights consistently.
A professional heavyweight fight against an elite world champion in his prime. When I beat Anthony Joshua, every doubt will disappear. He's talking to you, Charlamagne.
Okay.
Joshua's previous opponents prove exactly how dangerous this fight is for Paul. Francis Ngannou arrived strong, tough, and experienced. Still, Joshua broke him down systematically. Paul is lighter, less experienced, and hasn't fought real heavyweights regularly. Experts emphasize that Joshua's strength, perfect timing, and boxing brain can capitalize on even tiny errors. Every move Paul makes gives Joshua another chance to hurt him. This isn't just talk. It's a genuine threat.
Be the same for all of us, you know. Honestly, all of us, many greats have walked it before. All of the undercard are going to walk it, I'm going to walk it. I'm going to feel just like any of them. But when I step into that ring, that's when I switch on and I'm ready, so.
Mentally, Joshua is far superior too. He understands that the mind game matters just as much as physical ability. Destroying confidence, using ego against opponents, planting doubt, controlling the fight's tempo. Paul hasn't encountered these tactics at this level before. Experts stress Joshua's skill at turning fights into psychological warfare, making even tough opponents doubt themselves while fighting. Paul might talk big outside the ring, but inside, Joshua's focus and intelligence take over completely.
AJ could wake out his sleep, all right,
Okay.
and put Jake Paul to sleep. And I ain't taking nothing from Jake Paul. I'm just telling you, I respect the fact that Jake Paul is getting in the ring with somebody like Anthony Joshua. But I'm telling you, night.
This fight also gives Joshua momentum after sitting out following his previous defeat. He's using this match to regain confidence and get back into competitive shape. Experts note it's an opportunity to make enormous money while keeping the danger minimal. Joshua gains financially, mentally, and physically from this. For Paul, it's the opposite situation. One wrong move and the entire Jake Paul boxing story could collapse.
This is a more dangerous fight than Gervonta Tank Davis, but it's a more winnable fight than Gervonta Tank Davis.
Experts put it simply, Joshua leads in every category that matters. Experts stress that Joshua can punish even the smallest errors, manage distance like a strategic genius, and control the fight's rhythm completely at his discretion.
I think that it's a hopeless and potentially dangerous mismatch.
Compare that to Paul, whose boxing background consists mainly of carefully chosen influencer matches and a few scattered professional fights. History shows that Joshua can destroy fighters designed to absorb punishment. Francis Ngannou, for instance, entered strong and resilient but left defeated. That's the level of destruction Paul is walking into.
So I think AJ will struggle because it's an all-win situation. If he goes in there, Jake Paul lasted the distance. What does he tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 50 million quid.
Even if Joshua decides to go easy, it won't change anything. A single moderate punch from him still carries the impact of a 250-pound champion. Experts dismiss any idea that Paul can avoid serious harm. There's zero room for mistakes, nowhere to escape. Joshua's physical superiority, mental strength, and ring intelligence make him terrifying for any opponent. Paul is about to discover that reality firsthand.
Well, I quite hope for Jake Paul's long-term well-being that he does see it as a bit of a sparring exercise and something to get a few minutes under his belt in a ring in front of a big crowd before going on to fight Tyson Fury.
Paul can promote himself endlessly. He can promise $50 million knockouts, claim he'll surprise everyone, or post videos showing off. But when Joshua enters that ring, all that noise disappears. Experts keep warning, promotion won't protect you. Showmanship won't protect you. Fans are glued to their screens, curious if Paul can handle someone whose career, abilities, and pure strength make him genuinely dangerous to fight.
And they both earned a spectacular amount of money, and this will be likewise. But I think anybody expecting a good fight, I think they're looking at the wrong thing, because it ain't going to be a good fight if this is on the level.
December 19th, 2025 will be more than just a boxing match. It's a reality check for Paul, a demonstration of discipline and force from Joshua, and a worldwide event people will discuss for years. Experts emphasize the facts. Joshua controls every aspect of this fight. He can dominate, hurt, and command. Paul has personality, self-assurance, and followers. But none of that will prevent Joshua's punches from doing what they're meant to do. This isn't just entertainment. This isn't theater. It's a heavyweight examination that could destroy careers and change influencer boxing forever.
Yes, it's really happening. Jake Paul will face the two-time unified heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua on Friday, December the 19th.
Anthony Joshua isn't just participating, he's proving a point. 6 feet 6 inches, 250 pounds, Olympic gold winner, unified heavyweight champion. That's a powerful, dangerous force. Jake Paul, 6 feet 1 inch, mostly an online personality with some professional fights, faces his first genuine heavyweight test. Experts highlight the numbers, physics, and boxing intelligence. The difference is massive. Joshua has destroyed fighters like Francis Ngannou, tough, experienced athletes who could handle punishment. Paul is entering territory where one slip could finish the influencer boxing story completely.
And I just think fights like this just undermine it. They undermine those moments when terrible things do happen and everybody wrings their hands. Why send in a guy like Anthony Joshua, a seasoned pro, against a guy that, I don't know. It leaves a really nasty taste in the mouth.
Paul's earlier fights were safe, matched against retired or declining opponents. This marks the first time he's facing someone who can truly finish him with one series of punches. Experts and commentators agree this isn't friendly practice. One error, and Paul could experience a devastating night. Harsh, absolutely, but true. Joshua isn't here to be gentle.
I think, look, you have to look at the experience that Jake has gained in the 5 years he's been in the sport. To be in your 12th or 13th fight in front of 80,000 people, at AT&T Stadium in front of 125 million viewers, that's not experience you can gain normally.
Then there's unpredictability. Jake Paul has been creatively inconsistent, known for canceling fights, changing opponents, or altering conditions at the last second. Eddie Hearn mentions Joshua's team must prepare for anything. Today Paul's committed, tomorrow he's gone. Conditions shift, opponents shift, promotion shifts. Joshua's camp handles everything with steady confidence. They mix careful preparation with absolute certainty. Paul might be flashy, loud, arrogant, but theatrics don't prevent Joshua from dominating. Promotion doesn't matter. Strength and accuracy do, and Joshua has both completely.
So he's going to go into that event very calm and very composed, and I fully believe that he does 100% think he's going to beat Anthony Joshua.
The media attention is crazy. Every news source, YouTube channel, and social platform is buzzing. Fans argue about knockouts, how many rounds, whether Paul survives. Experts predict viewership might exceed classic heavyweight battles. But it's not just noise. Joshua's talent ensures this is a real test of Paul's capabilities, not just another viral moment. Can Jake Paul survive a genuine heavyweight in peak condition? That question is pushing anticipation to incredible levels. Joshua's edge exists in every way that counts. Skill, timing, power, preparation, mental toughness. Experts note that one mistake from Paul, one pause, and Joshua attacks. History shows Joshua has demolished fighters built to absorb damage. Francis Ngannou, durable and experienced, couldn't survive Joshua. Paul is smaller, less experienced, and taking a massive gamble.
And I'll say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul to say, right, we've got rid of this kid. I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention.
Even Joshua's lighter punches are dangerous. Experts dismiss any suggestion that Paul can avoid them. Every jab, combination, and adjustment could seriously hurt him. Hype, confidence, or social media stunts won't help him. The fight is about survival against dominance. Experts stress this is one of the biggest, most dangerous fights Paul has ever accepted. For Joshua, this fight means comeback, money, and restored confidence. For Paul, it's career-defining danger. One knockout, and the influencer experiment might finish. Experts stress, this is a genuine test. Everything is at stake from every direction. The boxing community is watching closely, wondering if this could establish a new standard for influencer versus professional matchups. December 19th, the ring will reveal who truly belongs at the heavyweight level, and subscribe to the King Boxing.